We are standing at the precipice of the greatest revelation in human history. The truth about who we are, where we come from, and what has been hidden from us in preparation to break free from the shadows. For centuries, the world has been controlled by deception, but now the veils are lifting. The hidden forces that have manipulated humanity through secrecy and illusion are losing their grip, and the floodgates of disclosures is about to open. Galactic Jedis, freedom fighters, patriots, welcome to my Saturday Night Live. My name is Ishmael Perez, for those that don't know me, and I am the author of two amazing books. One of them is called The Secret Government Invisible Architects, which reveals the secret history of the White Hats and Cabal going back to 6,000 years ago. The second book, Our Cosmic Origin, Restoring Galactic and Cosmic Information back to the earth, both which are available on Amazon or through my website, ourcosmicorigin.com. Good news for you guys, Galactic Jedis. Before I get into the geopolitical update and give you guys a message from JFK Jr. and a message from Commander Valiantor, you know that, Saturday night, jam-packed with information. I do want to announce that my new classes, my new courses, not only are they starting in 2 weeks, but due to financial reasons, because I know a lot of you guys are struggling and a lot of you guys want to take my courses, I've decided to just offer all my courses for $100, okay? Just to make it affordable, for everyone, okay? It helps both of us out. It helps me financially, and it helps you as well. At least we're doing something in exchange, okay? So if in order to access my new courses, which begin in 2 weeks, 2 weekends from now, go to my website, ourcosmicorigin.com, or you could click in the description, and then you could sign up to class. Now, bear in mind that those classes, especially at $100, they fill up quick, okay? All three of them are Cosmic Origin, Ascension 2.0, Ascension Basics at $100. Go to my website and secure your spot before they're full, okay? On a different note, before I give the update today, I do want to share a little bit about the Folium product, okay? To give you guys a little bit more of the background regarding Folium. So, the Folium product actually supports the release of parasites, pathogens, and toxic chemicals and metals from what we breathe in the air, from the food that we take, from the waters that we drink, and it protects our mitochondria from harmful radiation. This is so critical to health because dysfunction in our mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell, contributes to a wide range of chronic inflammatory diseases that the majority of us are suffering from, with or will suffer with, including neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, dementias, and metabolic disease like diabetes, obesity, and hormonal issues. Autoimmunity as well, cancer, I'm not supposed to say that word, and cardiovascular conditions. So the link for the Folium product is always in the description, and of course I always pin it in the comments. So, all right, so should we get right to it? I guess we should. Yes, I am wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt. I am a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, which is a Japanese animation. It is a cartoon, and the reason why I loved watching Dragon Ball Z as a kid and as a teenager growing up, because it reminded me of my Star Seed mission. Okay, there's a lot of parallels between the character in that animated series known as Goku and me, Goku. There you go. So, yeah, for those that don't know about Dragon Ball Z, there's a lot of metaphysical knowledge in that cartoon series. It's a Japanese series, but they did translate it in English. I do want to welcome everybody. I do want to give gratitude and thanks to all of the viewers, not only those that are here on the live, but also those that watch it on the replay. So I'm excited. I'm about tonight's live. I have a lot of information that I want to share with you guys. a geopolitical update, a message from JFK Jr., a message from Commander Valiant Thor, and what Putin discovered about Tartaria, what the Russians are now unveiling about the lost civilization of Tartaria. All right, so let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. All right, so this is a message from JFK Jr., who is, by the way, working with the Alliance from behind the scenes. And yes, JFK Jr. is well and alive, just like his father, JFK Sr., is well and alive. Okay. So, in a world, this is coming from JFK Jr., in a world that is racing towards artificial intelligence. One second here. Let me put on my glasses. That is racing with artificial. That is artificial, right? We must remember to be human. Okay. Very simple. To be human is not weakness, it is a strength wrapped in humility. It's the willingness to feel, to care, to speak truth, even when your voice shakes. It's choosing compassion over convenience, presence over performance. For those that are just logging on, this is a quick message from JFK Jr. So he believes, he wants me to tell you guys that we do live in a time where so much is being stripped away, okay? Our identity, our history, our faith. But no matter how advanced the technology or how deep the deception, there's always something that they cannot replicate. And that, my friends, is the human soul. Okay, this is coming from JFK Jr. And that's why we must remember to be human, to choose our humanity over synthetic stuff, to choose our humanity over stuff that is not authentic, right? To hold the door open, to practice kindness, to look each other in the eye, to cry even if it hurts, to laugh when it heals, and to stand back up when it would be easier to stand down. Being human means we fall short, but it also means that we rise higher than we thought possible when we do it together. Okay. So as the noise grows louder, right, as the systems tighten their grip, don't forget who you are. Don't forget who you are. Don't let the coldness of the world take the warm out of your heart. Stay real, stay rooted, and stay human with all of your soul. All right. This is coming from JFK Jr. Okay. Now, quick geopolitical report, specifically with what's going on here in the States. All right, so over 200 people have been arrested in Florida, including former Bruce player or Bucks player, NFL Bucks player, during a ninth-day Bucks. Is that NFL or is that hockey? Anyways, it's one of those professional leagues. Again, I don't watch sports, guys. Including a Bucks player during a ninth-day sitting targeting trafficking, child predators, and illegal immigration. Code name: Fool Around and Find Out. Okay. That just came in. In addition to that, President Trump has posted a video about the Clinton body count. The Clinton body count, right? They are worse than the mafia, on his Truth Social account. So if you guys are not signed to President Trump's Truth Social account, I would go ahead and check that out. Okay. And let me tell you guys something. The Clintons have a larger body count than the godfather of Sicily himself. That's the best way to put it. All right. So, in addition to that, President Trump has confirmed that former FBI Director James Comey cryptic Instagram post was actually a veiled call for murder. Ooh, interesting. All right. Moreover, Trump claimed he recognized the message instantly, saying that as a former FBI director, talking about James Comey, he knew exactly what he was doing, and he did it on purpose. All right. Labeling Comey a dirty cop Trump added that he's leaving Comey's fate in the hands of the Department of Justice. All right. Moreover, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, says he has some sympathy for members of Congress who trade stocks while serving in office. Right? Well, in addition to all of this, Barack Obama's former CIA director, John Brennan, says that he's never once heard the term 86 used to reference KILLING or assassination throughout his entire intelligence career. So I guess that is a term that the deep state will use to take people out. 86, term 86. He defended. Oh, okay. Let's go back to James Comey. So apparently, Trump insisted that Comey did something wrong and has called it an unfortunate action that so many are furious with him right now. Anyways, okay, let's move on. Associate Deputy Attorney General Ed Martin claims that James Comey is headed to prison over the threat to assassinate President Trump. Ooh, wow. Okay. Let's see. The DOJ is expected to announce charges as early as today against Democratic Representative LaMonica McVeller for allegedly assaulting law enforcement at an ICE facility in New Jersey. FBI Director Kash Patel has announced that the Bureau will be relocating from the J. Edward Hoover Building in Washington, D.C. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard is calling for the immediate arrest of former FBI Director James Comey. And yes, it looks like he's going to jail. The Department of Homeland Security has announced it will investigate former FBI Director James Comey following a photo that he posted that referenced the assassination of President Trump. Okay. So it looks like they're tying the two attempted assassinations at Mr. T, President T, to James Comey. Well, I wouldn't doubt that. I knew that the CIA was involved, just how they were involved in the supposed assassination of JFK Sr., who, thanks to Nikola Tesla and the time traveling technology that he developed, was able to spare his life. Former director James Comey calls for Donald Trump to be murdered in a cryptic post on Instagram. Okay. Brandon Staffers admit that the 2024 plan was to hide him for about 4 years, occasionally showing him as proof of life while they ran the country. So apparently, the Democrats, right, the deep state, were planning on stealing the election again, but they failed thanks to the assistance of the Galactic Alliance. New court documents reveal that Casey's husband, Alex Fine, once faced time while she was having sex with Diddy. All right, well, it's all going to come out. Leaked court transcripts from the Diddy trial appear to undermine Casey's claims of non-consensual involvement in his freak-off parties, revealing she once told him, "I wanna FO so bad," suggesting she wasn't just a witting participant, but the one initiating the encounters. Okay. Now, you guys are going to love this. For those that thought that Taylor Swift was an innocent little American princess, so guess again. Human remains have discovered near Taylor Swift's beachside mansion. Okay, well, human remains believed to include a human leg bone that have been discovered just blocks from Taylor Swift's Rhode Island mansion, a location known for hosting her star-studded gatherings. Authorities say no foul play is currently suspected, despite multiple recent body discoveries across New England. How the human remains ended up there and who they belong to is still remains a mystery as police continue to investigate. Well, Swift herself, Taylor Swift here, who, by the way, I believe is a Satanist, right? She is a Satanist. Taylor Swift herself hasn't seen or hasn't been seen at the mansion in quite some time. So apparently, all the dirty stuff is coming out on everyone. And a lot of this, my friends, has a lot to do with the fact that as a collective, we are already entering the fourth dimensional Earth reality, which is symbolized by transparency. So everything that is hidden, according to the fourth density reality, everything that is hidden eventually comes to light. Okay. So that's the reason why all of this stuff is now coming forward. Now, Klaus Schwab is fighting back against the World Economic Forum's accusations, saying that they underpaid him for decades, benefiting from his wife's unpaid work, and took credit for their personal philanthropy. Who cares? I hope that he gets the chair for his crimes against humanity. But you know, that new guy, the new head or chairman of the World Economic Forum, I don't know if you guys seen him, but that guy looks even creepier. He even has the Illuminati eye slit, the pupil. It's like black, I believe. But yeah, he even has the Illuminati eye. All right. Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, has called the music mogul demonic. Okay. He says Diddy forced his ex-girlfriend, Casey, to sleep with a male escort and then had the men's semen rubbed on himself. Ugh. All right. Well, hopefully this stays on Fluff Tooth. Deal further alleges that Diddy watched the encounter take place in an inflatable pool filled with baby oil. All of this happened while Diddy pleasured himself. All right, moving forward now. Let's move on. Different topic. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who James O'Keefe is, who recently went on social media saying that he is not suicidal for trying to release the list. Okay. James O'Keefe has released never before seen footage from Jeffrey Epstein's private island library. Epstein's chalkboard is filled with cryptic words like power, deception, and dark brain. Ugh. The handwriting appears to match Epstein's known jailhouse letters. So let's face it, it is believed that he faked his death, okay? And that he was actually seen in a different island. There is actually photos of Mr. Epstein, who is still alive, by the way, okay? Among the book on display, one little stands out, the Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie, whoever that is. The novel has been accused of being Islamophobic by some Muslim communities. And then Grammy-winning musician Bruce Springsteen began his European tour by calling President Trump a treasonous and corrupt leader. So apparently, Bruce Springsteen is being paid by the globalists to talk bad of President Trump, okay? Springsteen urged the crowd to rise up and speak out against authoritarianism and let freedom ring. Well, little does he know that's President Trump is fighting the same forces that he claims are totalitarianism. All right, let's move forward. Springsteen has supported every democratic presidential candidate, well, there you go, for the past 20 years. So I'm sure that Mr. Springsteen is probably working for the Clintons, okay? It's probably working for the Clintons and the Obamas. Portugal's right-wing national leader, André Ventura, suddenly collapsed mid-speech during a campaign rally, clutching his chest in visible pain. Perhaps he was having a heart attack, or they had a directed energy weapon on him, okay?
No, he had something going on with his esophagus.
Oh, he has something going on with the esophagus,
Yeah,
because I do know that sometimes they use dews to target certain individuals. Okay. Okay, so the incident occurred moments after he took a sip of water, freezing in place before grabbing his chest and neck Apparently, he had something going on in his esophagus. All right. Aides rushed to help him off stage. The Portuguese government has an election on Sunday now. Okay. All right. Now, the moment a lot of you have been waiting for. Where's the evidence of Tartaria? Well, in an epoch making revelation, Russian President Vladimir Putin takes the world by storm, inaugurating a new archive and casting light on the shadowy history of the once colossal Tartaria Empire. It goes from the past, reemerges, beckoning us to re examine our understanding of world history. So the cold January day of 15th was forever etched into the annals of history. Russian Vladimir Putin, an enigma in his own right, inaugurated a new archive, a treasure trove revealing a hidden realm of history, a silent guardian of the nation's rich past. This repository would make Tartaria maps public now. The question teetering on the edge of everyone's slips is, why is this significant? Why is this significant, right? Well, let's talk about this a little bit. It turns out that Tartaria was a real civilization, guys, and it still exists. Many believe that the Tartarians or the giants, and they were fairly tall, have decided to leave what is known as the known continents and go through the Antarctica portal, not a wall, to continue existing in these other continents that are currently inaccessible to us. Okay. Well, the implications are and have been momentous. Okay. The moved signal, we're talking about the archive here that was released by President Putin the last few days. This moved signal a profound paradigm shift. Russia, a nation of layered history and deep rooted traditions, resolved to dissent its true, now counterfeit historical narratives, breaking free from the fetters of orthodoxy historiography. Okay, so um, let's talk about this. Okay, why is this happening? Well, because the power of a nation lies in its history, and apparently Russia, Tartaria, encompassed a huge part of what we call today Russia. And here is the evidence. It is the compass that directs the future, right? Because the power of a nation lies in its history. It is the compass that directs the future, the root that nourishes the national identity. A nation without its history is like a ship adrift in the stormy sea, aimlessly wandering with no harbor in sight. I guess they're using that as an analogy. The conventional historical narrative in Russia, akin to a tale weaved into the fabric of academic curricula, has origins dating back to the 18th century. It is tailored in accordance with the biblical Jewish concept of history, a legacy of the Romanovs of Russia, the Russian rulers of yesterday's years. However, this narrative truncated more than 5,500 years of the realm's rich tapestry, a consequence of the transition from the original calendar to the Julian calendar. The Russian Federation now stands at the precipice of a paradigm shift. It is crafting a brand new concept of education, a radical overhaul of history books that were churned out over the past 2 decades under the aegis of Western educational institutions and nonprofit organizations. The journey to reclaim its history, its true identity, has begun its earnest. All right. The focal point of this journey is Tartaria, a mysterious empire relegated to the sidelines of global history. Well, they've been trying to cover it up, right? As they're always try to reset history. Too many, this name might strike a discordant note, a hazy remnant of forgotten lore, while tales of Egypt's pyramids, the Persian Empire's grandeur, the Ottomans' resilience, and the Romans' conquest populate our textbooks. The saga of Tartaria remains curiously absent. Okay. Despite, and let's just be real, the Tartarian Empire was by far more advanced than the Romans, the Ottomans, the Persians, and even the Egyptians. Okay, let's just be real here. Despite dwarfing these empires in terms of its vast territorial expanse, Tartaria has been conspicuously missing from the historical discourse until now, thanks to Vladimir Putin. Over the years, this vast empire went by various monikers: Razania, Scatia, and finally the Tartaria. Okay, historians like Jelena Lubimova and Dmitry Milinkov, among others, have started filling the void, shedding light on this massive state entity spread across several continents. That's how big the Tartarian Empire was. Tartaria was home to millions who lived in harmony, fostering a self sustained culture rooted in spiritual and moral virtues. And yes, guys, they were already using what we call today Tesla coils technology or free energy devices, okay? Among other things. They did have access to anti gravity craft propulsion systems. And yes, they also lived in harmony with one another. There was no cabal, okay? Everybody had everything and in plenty. And there's evidence of that. They had a profound reverence for their ancestors, for justice, for familial bonds, and of course, their homeland. The Tartarians are the inhabitants, excuse me, the Tartarians, as the inhabitants were known, were an impressive race, very tall, right? Red haired, white skinned, and blessed with captivating blue, green, or gray eyes. These Slavs, Aryans, and Russians possessed an intriguing juxtaposition of characteristics. They were friendly and warm in times of peace, yet brave and ruthless in battles. In times of victory, they were just and compassionate. During adversities, they remained steadfast. Their indomitable spirit stemmed from their unwavering resolve to protect their rod, their homeland, and uphold the moral purity and faith of their ancestors, rendering them nigh invincible. Okay. The first edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica, published in 1771, provides a fascinating insight into this enigmatic empire, spanning from the Urals to Alaska and from the New Earth to Tibet. Tartaria was a formidable entity in Northern Asia, flanked by Siberia in the north and the west. It was a complex mosaic of diverse tribes and peoples such as the Astrachans, the Cherkis, the Dagestanians, the Kalmi Tartars, the Uzbek Tartarians, the Mogulas, and Tibetan Tartarians, each with their own unique culture and heritage. Tartaria was a testament to the harmony that could exist amongst diversity. And despite its sheer scale and cultural significance, Tartaria's existence was effaced from the pages of history with the dawn of the 18th century. All right, I've been doing a lot of research on this, guys, and it turns out that the Jesuits, which were established at the beginning of the 1500s, were the ones responsible for the mud floods that actually flooded this beautiful advanced civilization known as Tartaria. Okay. And then, of course, they erased the memories from us from the last 300 years. They didn't want people to know about Tartaria. And this is the reason why the Jesuits, for those that have read The Secret Government, have gained control of all the universities throughout Europe and the Americas, across many parts of the world, Africa, South America. I mean, they control most of the universities, okay, in order to conceal the truth about the true history, okay? So yeah, it was the Vatican under the control of the Jesuits that not only caused, by using reptilian technology, the Vatican was always aligned with the Dracos, working with the reptilians, right? With the negative Anunnaki, with Marduk, who ran the Vatican. And what they did is they used advanced technology to create these mud floods that would eventually destroy the civilization. Okay. And then, of course, they erased it out of history. Okay. It's exciting to know that we are living in a time where not only are we going to learn about the current corruption, about what they've been doing in these underground tunnels with the little ones, about everything that they've done to poison us, to minimize us, to um, pretty much oppress us, is all going to come out. Okay. And among these things, among the truth, we're also going to receive a lot of documented evidence regarding a lot of these advanced technologies that our own governments have been hiding from us for centuries. Okay. Especially within the last 80 years, especially within the last 80 years. Now, the world's largest empire, going back to Tartaria, as discovered by Mr. Putin from Russia, for those that are just jumping on, don't forget to watch this from the beginning. I did have a quick message from JFK Jr. regarding preserving our humanity and being a good person, even in the midst of the chaos that we're experiencing. Going back to this, okay? So, the world's largest empire, once prominently etched in the map from 1771, Encyclopedia Britannica, faded into oblivion all of a sudden, okay? Where are the remnants of this once great empire? What became of its millions of inhabitants? Well, a lot of them were killed by, again, the Vatican, okay? And why has this remarkable civilization been airbrushed from our history books? These are questions that have haunted historians and many researchers like myself, of course. The mysterious disappearance of Tartaria from the maps, from all the books, guys, okay, and our collective memory is now baffling, right? Further editions of Encyclopedia Britannica bear no trace to its existence. It's almost like they rewrote the entire Encyclopedia Britannica. A significant chunk of human history spanning millennia seems to have been swallowed up by the sands of time. So the unveiling of the Tartarian archives marks a critical juncture in the quest to uncover the truth. The Russian Federation has taken a monumental step towards rewriting the history of Tartaria, illuminating this up to now unexplored realm. We will finally unearth the truth about this colossal empire. The question remains, will Tartaria be reinstated in the annals of world history? Well, I believe that if it's coming from Putin, it will. Okay. And I love that he called it the Russian Federation because that's what we're moving into as we go into this new world. We are going to be part of the Jabucas Federation, the North American continent, okay, as we merge with Canada and Greenland. I mentioned this and I revealed the 22 federated regions in the last chapter of my first edition of our Cosmic Origin. Yes, the book that was tampered with, and they mismatch words to make it look like it wasn't edited. But of course, the new edition, the purple book, everything was well organized. But I was told not to publish the 22 federated regions until the time was right to talk about this. Okay, so one thing is for sure, guys. One thing is for sure. The grand narrative of human civilization is incomplete without acknowledging the existence and contributions of Tartaria. Okay. The unveiling of these archives is a clarion call for historians, scholars, and truth seekers worldwide to shed their biases, and preconceived notions, to delve deep into the labyrinth of history and unearth the truth about Tartaria, the invincible empire. Okay. The narrative of world history is a king to a vast jigsaw puzzle, and Tartaria is a missing piece, a huge missing piece. Okay. And as we navigate through the 21st century, let's hope that we can complete the puzzle, ensuring that the true tapestry of human civilization is finally unveiled. For the resurrection of Tartaria is not just a victory for Russia, right? And I did mention Vladimir Putin is working with the alliance, but for humanity, okay? So again, the resurrection of the Tartarian civilization is not just a victory for Russia, but for humanity at large. After all, the flame of truth shines brightest in the darkest corners of oblivion. Of oblivion. Okay. Now, a quick message from Commander Valiant Thor titled, yes, I have to write all my transmissions, all my research. Otherwise, I won't remember it. I mean, it's not that I won't remember it, but I have to explain it in great detail, guys. Okay. So, this is according to Commander Valiant Thor, we are approaching the dawn of first contact. And that's the reason why I used the thumbnail that I used, okay, to kind of plant in the subconscious mind of people the idea that humans on Earth are ready to make contact with positive advanced civilizations, okay? So, this is what the Galactics have been calling the Earth's galactic reunion and the liberation of humanity. Would I be able to get more tea, please? When you get a chance? Thank you. Okay, so we are living in the most extraordinary moment in human history. Commander Thor, this is coming from Commander Thor, not just as a civilization, but as a planetary species on the verge of cosmic reintegration. Behind the veil of official secrecy and engineered disbelief, a monumental collaboration is quietly unfolding between benevolent extraterrestrial civilizations and the Earth Alliance, a coalition of awakened leaders, military insiders, and truth-driven operatives known collectively as the White Hats. This joint operation is preparing the final stages for open first contact and the full disclosure of humanity's cosmic heritage, talking about the releasing of the Tartaria civilization. This is just going to be the beginning, guys. It's much bigger than that. And the long suppressed truth by the now defunct controllers. Oh, no, the long suppressed truth that was done by the now defunct controllers of this realm. Okay. So, humanity's true origins and cosmic history is one of the things that will be coming back to the light, to the forefront, okay, to our memories. The truth about our origins, which has been hidden from us, right, for millennia, since the Anunnaki downgraded us by disconnecting 10 strands of our DNA. Let's just be real, right? They nipped our telomere so that we would start aging and not use our full capacity, atrophying about 90% of our brain, right? Reducing us down to the level of intelligence of just a little bit above Neanderthals so that we could just use them as a slave race. Can't believe they did that to us. But anyways, the truth about our origins has been hidden for millennia. Contrary to the narratives promoted by mainstream science and religion, humanity is not a primitive species that evolved in isolation. We are a galactic hybrid race, seeded by over 22 different star nations, including civilizations from Sirius, Lyra, the Pleiades, Andromeda, Arcturus, and Vega. All right, I'll repeat that again. Humanity is not a primitive species that evolved in isolation. We are a galactic hybrid race seeded by over 22 star nations, including civilizations from Sirius, Lyra, the Pleiades, Andromeda, Arcturus, and Vega, each contributing genetic and spiritual elements to the human genome. Earth itself is not merely a planet, also, okay? It is a living library, a biospiritual experiment. We are an experiment, by the way, designed to unify diverse galactic codes into a single multidimensional species capable of anchoring higher frequencies across the universe. Okay. So again, Earth is not just merely just a planet. It is a living library, a biospiritual experiment designed to unify diverse galactic codes into a single multi-dimensional species capable of anchoring higher frequencies across the universe. In other words, we are the master race. We are what we've been waiting for. And all the races up there know that. Okay. In addition, the true history of the Earth is deeply interwoven with the history of the universe, right? For those that have read our cosmic origin, I give you first dips on this, a little taste of what is to come. Of course, accessing the entire galactic and universal history would probably take millions of libraries. But at least when you read our cosmic origin, you have a general understanding of what's to come. Our world has witnessed the rise and fall of ancient interstellar empires, the wars between the light and darkness, and the occupation of negative forces such as the archons, inorganic parasitic entities that have hijacked the planet's grid and imprisoned humanity in cycles of fear, suffering, and spiritual amnesia. These dark forces operated through the corrupt elites, right? The children of Cain first, but then they were taken out during the flood. And then, of course, they reestablished themselves through Ham, Kish, and Nimrod. Oh, I'm hot. I'm sweating. Ham, Kish, and Nimrod. Okay. So these, yeah, so that's how these dark entities that are called archon entities have been ruling our world through their Illuminati bloodlines, which is what I call in the secret government the serpent seed of Babylon, all right? Of Babylon, coming from Nimrod. So yeah, these dark forces operating through the corrupt elites, right? The Babylonian bloodlines, secret societies, and artificial matrices designed to suppress our consciousness and trap our souls in karmic loops, which explains the ongoing Saturn moon matrix, which has been dismantled, by the way, in the last 4 years. So we don't have to worry about that. Okay. So the Earth's introduction into the United Federation of Planets is also important to understand. For those that have taken my class, Our Cosmic Origin, you know exactly what I'm talking about as I break down the different interstellar councils and who the commanders are. Since 2003, Earth has been under the protection and guidance of what is known as the United Federation of Planets. Now, this actually pertains to the local star cluster that we are a part of, okay? The Galactic Alliance is a much broader interstellar coalitions of diverse civilizations, including many galaxies. So this is just pertaining to our local star cluster, okay? And this is a powerful interplanetary alliance that upholds peace, sovereignty, and galactic law. So quietly, without public awareness, believe it or not, Earth was accepted as a probationary member due to the courage and resistance of countless starseeds, thanks to us, light workers, and awakened souls who began reclaiming their divine sovereignty. So currently, over 130 Earth delegates are actively represented within the Federation, engaging in interspecies diplomacy, technological exchange, and cosmic negotiations to reintegrate Earth into the galactic family. And this has been happening since 2003. Okay. Now you're probably wondering, well, where do these 130 Earth delegates meet with these non-terrestrial people? Well, that's a good question. The headquarters for the United Federation of Worlds, which consists of 600 to, I believe, 800 worlds, we are now a part of that, is located on Ganymede, which is one of the moons of Jupiter. Okay. Again, if you guys want to know, if you want to go deep into this, I suggest taking our Cosmic Origin class. Class starts in 2 weeks. Go to my website or cosmicorigin.com. Secure a spot. It's only $100 now. I'm making my classes affordable now. Everything's $100. All right, let me continue. A message from Valiant Thor. 2 key figures stand at the forefront of this mission. The first one is Valiant Thor, which is a Venusian envoy who has been stationed on Earth since the 1950s, right? There is ample evidence, pictures, and footage of him meeting with Eisenhower. And then, of course, the second commander who is at the forefront of this mission is Commander Corondor, who is a strategic operations leader from the Andromedan High Council. All right. Now, together, they are overseeing the liberation of Earth in partnership with the White Hats, coordinating ground and orbital missions to dismantle the control mechanisms that have held our planet in bondage. Okay. So one of the message that Commander Valiant Thor is wanting me to share is the fall of the Archon grid, or rather the dismantling of the Archon grid, which has been in effect since Atlantean times, since Enki took over. Okay. One of the most significant victories in this war for planetary freedom has been the dismantling of the Archon grid, which is an artificial etheric web that siphoned human life force and reinforced trauma-based programming through media, religion, and politics. This energy grid was once connected to the black hole technologies and in AI parasites, and the AI parasites originating from a collapsed timeline. Okay. It kept humanity trapped in a perpetual state of fear, division, and reincarnational cycle. So, as of 2024, which was a few months ago, November to be exact, and this is why Mr. T won the election. Okay. There's a lot of reasons why the forces of light were able to secure the White House. A lot of things happen from behind the scenes. I wish I could tell you guys everything, but I could only share what they want me to share. So as of 2024, this grid has been fully dismantled, and the remaining Archon entities have been removed from the Earth's energetic field. This has allowed higher frequencies to once again flow freely through the ley lines and the planetary chakra systems, facilitating spiritual awakening and DNA activation on a mass scale. So, a new wave as a result of this, what we are going to be witnessing in 2025 is a surge of UFO sightings, all right, and a mass aerial phenomena that is going to make what we were witnessing back in November, right, when we were seeing all the drones, look like candy. And it's about to happen. They're telling me summer. They're telling me summer of 2025. Okay. There's going to be massive UFO sightings, mass aerial phenomena that will unfold across the skies of the earth, not hidden in the shadows, but witnessed by millions simultaneously. These sightings are not accidental, right? They are being choreographed by the benevolent ET alliances as a signal to the Y Hat operatives that the time has come to full planetary disclosure. I told you guys before that the Galactic Alliance is putting fire up the Y Hat's butts to get them going with disclosure. All right, so these public appearances will break the psychological barriers that have kept humanity imprisoned in disbelief and will serve as the green light to release the classified non-terrestrial files. Everything from Area 51, from what's been happening in all those underground levels of Area 51, to the present moment of what's been happening off-world through the breakaway groups and what's been happening in Antarctica. Okay? It all needs to come out. Okay? It all needs to come out. And a lot of this has a lot to do with, again, the collective consciousness of humanity is shifting already into the fourth year Earth reality, where everything has to come to light, okay? Including the truth about the reverse engineering spacecraft, right? The TikToks, the 3B RBs,
TR3B.
TR3Bs, thank you. And all of the craft that our own governments, both the military industrial complex and the White Hats, have had as a result of reverse engineering. Not to mention the underground joint bases and off-world treatises that have been signed. You know how many non-terrestrials we made deals with? Over 900 races so far, has been revealed by Commander Valiant Thor. Over 900 races, right? We've already made a pact with within the private sector. And Earth's long-standing membership as an interstellar in the interstellar councils. Okay, so Commander Valiant Thor says that the timeline split in the first solar event is approaching fast, okay? We are standing now at the edge of a cosmic bifurcation, right? The splitting of worlds, not physically, but vibrationally, a splitting of timelines that will separate those who are ascending into higher dimensional realities from those who remain bound to the artificial matrix, okay? And the artificial matrix is what I've been calling the technocratic dystopian timeline, which is going to be ruled by the Omega AI God. Okay. This split is not based on judgment, but on vibrational frequency and soul alignment. Okay. The Earth is undergoing a quantum leap right now. Okay. And when it comes to the first wave of the solar flash, expected before summer solstice, okay, the solar flash is an energetic pulse from the galactic central sun designed to trigger a mass activation of dormant DNA, awakening superhuman abilities, and finalize the separation of realities. Right, wheats from the taffs, or they call them
Wheat from the chaff.
wait, thanks, weeps from the chaff.
Wheat from the chaff.
Oh, wheat from the chaff. My bad. Let's just say the righteous from the wicked. Okay, the grass from the
Tares.
no. What are those things called? The weeds. We don't want weeds in the new earth. Okay. Okay, so the superhuman abilities, right? This is what's going to be happening. The separation of realities, those that are attuned to love, service, and truth will ascend into the new earth timeline. A fifth dimensional realm of unity, peace, and multidimensional awareness. Meanwhile, those who remain entangled in lower frequencies, including the malevolent elites, the NPCs, the soulless biological constructs, right, non-player characters, which is about 30 or a little over 30% of the world population, and of course the unrepentant dark actors, those that were hired by casting actors. I think that's what it's called, central casting. Sorry, and then of course, you know, all of the, you could say, people that are just naturally evil, people that just are always serving their ego, right? They're going to all be eliminated when this thing takes place. Okay, they're all going to be removed. Okay, and they will be experiencing a gradual dissolution of their artificial reality at the end of the millennium. Okay, so the liberation of the earth is now unstoppable. It is now unstoppable. First contact is not a single event. It is a process of remembering, okay, of disclosure, and of reunification with our cosmic family. The efforts of positive extraterrestrials and the Earth Alliance are converging at this very moment to dismantle the final structures of oppression and initiate an era of peace and prosperity. The secrets of our galactic lineage, the true history of the universe, and our role as guardians of the new earth will soon be known to all. Okay? And if you guys want a glimpse of the true cosmic history of the earth, don't forget to take my class, Our Cosmic Origin. It is available now for $100. Go to my website, ourcosmicorigin.com. And then, of course, I do have it in the description.
Where do you get the Folium product?
Where do you get the Folium product? Again, the link for the Folium product that helps the body heal itself, right, is always in the description. And I will also pin it in the comments.
And where do you buy your books?
My books are located, my books are available on Amazon. All you got to do is go to Amazon, type in The Secret Government, Invisible Architects, or Our Cosmic Origin by Ishmael Perez, and it comes up. Or you can just go through my website. You have the links directly through my website. Again, if you go to my website, ourcosmicorigin.com, you have access to all my platforms, my books, and my classes, right? One word, ourcosmicorigin.com. That's it. So that's where you have access to everything. So the dark age is over, guys. The veil is lifting. So we have to prepare ourselves for first contact. We have to prepare ourselves for ascension. We are not alone. We never were. And we are not just this, miserable, low-level race. We are the masterpiece of all creation. Okay, we are the masterpiece of all creation. Now, I do want to welcome all 2,960 people that are in the house. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and take, if you could get my phone, please. I'm going to go ahead and take some questions at this time. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday evening. Oh, I put it there. It's charging. Is it not there? Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, ETs, angels. I hope you're all getting synchronicities and lots of light codes and lots of angel numbers. Have a nice night. Bye.
All right. So this is the time where I take your questions. If you guys could answer, if you guys could type your questions in capital letters, I'm going to go ahead and answer those questions.
Waking up sore.
All right. I do want to welcome Chriso Sefu, Colt Jackson, Rasp Pops, Kathy Young, Sam Burton is in the house, Leah Archer is in the house, Gabriella F is in the house, MJF, Sandra, Simone S, Shauna, Cosmic Zeal, Lee Star, Heidi Harrison, Ricky Lee 1111, and who else? One more person, somebody I haven't called. Let's see who else is in the house. Sam Burton, and all 2,800 people that are in the house. Welcome, welcome. All right, my first super chat from Vidmir. Thank you so much for that super chat, Vidmir. Hey, Ishmael, sending love and positive vibes to you. Celine of the Pleiadian Council is here as well. The last solar flash seemed like a huge shift from the 14th of May. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Welcome, Celine of the Pleiadian High Council. This is Commander Ishmael of the Lyran High Council. All right, let's see who else is here. Who are the custodians? This is a question from Jack Pithelsky. Well, the custodians are the ancient keepers. They're also known as the ancient race, the elders. They're known by various names. In terms of dimensions, the custodians are part of the Ra Confederacy. They are the Carians, the bird race, the Blue Avians. They're also known. There's also the Brigidettes, and of course the Ormas. The Ormas are also part of the custodians. Okay, so the custodians are the elders. Those are the races that come from dimensions 9, 10, and 10, 11, and 12. 10, 11, and 12. What was Pope Francis not the last pope? Why was Pope Francis not the last pope? Well, Deborah, this is a question from Deborah. In terms of the reptilian control of the planet, Pope Francis was the last pope, right? Which is signifying the end of the age. A new age is coming. Now, I did kind of mention a little bit that this new pope is he's actually a mole. He's a white hat, and he's going to be instrumental in disclosing what the Vatican knows about extraterrestrials and also what the Vatican has been hiding in the archives. So the new Pope, Leo, is all about disclosure. Okay, I just want to throw it out there. So yeah, this is the ending of the reptilian-controlled Vatican. Okay, the new Pope Leo is not reptilian. Thank you so much. I see another super chat from Ricky Lee 1111. Thank you, Ricky Lee. He says, Ishmael, what is the Buga sphere all about found recently in Colombia? The Buga sphere.
Oh, the silver ball with the alien writing on it.
That's the silver bowl?
The silver ball with alien writing it. It's made of mostly aluminum. It had all the engravings in it.
Well, I haven't heard about it yet.
I've showed you the videos.
Oh, okay. So it's a silver sphere with aliens writing on it.
Yeah, and it's aluminum.
And apparently it's made out of aluminum, and it actually landed. Yeah, I did hear about that. It did land it in Colombia. So there is footage out there on that, about that circulating on the internet. Good question, Ricky Lee. Love your updates. Thank you to Monica. Thank you, he says. Let's see. I also have another super chat from Rohini. Rohini is in the house. There was code on Twitter. 8647, is Trump in trouble? No, Trump is never in trouble. Again, Trump, the real Trump, is running the entire Earth Alliance from Cheyenne Mountains. Okay, he's running the entire Earth Alliance from Cheyenne Mountains. So no, he's never going to be in trouble. Can I get some water, please? Thank you. Okay, this another super chat from Mike Steinberg. Thank you, Mike. He says, "Are we going to be able to catch fish in the future?" um, I don't know about fishing in the future, but that is a good question, and I don't know the answer to that, Mike. I am sorry. I am so sorry. If I can't answer a question, I'm just going to admit it. I won't be able to answer because I don't know. But that is not a question that I could answer. I mean, I don't see why not. Why can't we fish in the new earth? Right? We just won't be able to eat the fish. We'll just have to let it go. We'll just fish for fun. All right. Thank you. I see Isis. Thank you for your super chat, Isis. She says, "Hey, brother, can you talk more about Delta 19?" Delta 19 was the original Space Force back in the golden age of Egypt. Actually, last Saturday, or was it the Saturday before, I gave a full report on Delta 19, which was the interplanetary defense post that was initiated by the Naturu, the custodians and guardians of the Egyptian golden age, which was run by Isis and Osiris. So that is what Delta 19 was all about. And now, of course, with Trump coming up with the fifth branch of space of our military, Space Force, it's being resurrected in our times. But now it's called Space Force, not Delta 19. How many avatars do we all have? This is a question from Aruga Life. I believe we have like 12 overall avatars, but these avatars are also they also have sub avatars, a total of 1748 to be exact. I think that's the number. Yeah, I think we have we're existing in about 1,748 different parallel Earth realities at this time. But overall, in terms of dimensions, we have only 12 major avatars from this dimension all the way to the 12. Kathy Lencinio says, "Why did NPCs first appear on Earth?" Good question. The NPCs, the non-player characters, right? The agent Smiths, which are, by the way, here to make our lives impossible, right? They're here to kind of make us make life hard for us. Let's just be real. They were generated by the Matrix and the inorganic timeline, which is the AI. And they're also here to suck up our energy in order to transfer that energy into the inorganic timeline, feeding what is known as the phantom matrix. I have another super chat from David Essington. Welcome, David Essington. He says, "Do you know that the 144,000 will not be on Earth for soul flashes, but taken to New Jerusalem for reascension, as the flashes are tuned to ascend those to 4th, 5, and 6D, not starseeds who already attained that?" Well, from what I understand is that the higher aspects of the 144,000 are already concurrently existing on the New Jerusalem mothership. So yeah, if you are part of the 144,000, that means that your galactic avatar, your higher self, is already operating or there's a version of yourself that is existing on the New Jerusalem mothership. So I think that what the solar flash is going to do is that it's going to integrate that aspect of yourself from the mothership into the here and the now, completely integrating it with your your human avatar. And that's how our abilities, our powers are going to be coming out or manifest. Yvette Smith is saying that Trump is supposed to announce something on May 26th, according to Big Phony, Bo Phony. I've never heard of Bo Phony, by the way. This is a significant day. Do you think this is when EBS will start? I am not sure, but it could be. It could be. Sam Sid is asking me a question. How long are we expected to stay in 4D before moving to 5D? That's a good question. However, the people that go to 4D are the young souls, not the star seeds. The star seeds are going to go to 5D and above. So the young souls that go to 4D, they're going to have at least 1,000 years, right, during the millennium, to learn and master what 4D reality is all about, so that they could move on to the 50 and above. But yeah, they are evolving or ascending in increments. Okay, good question though. Tammy Simmons, thank you so much for the super chat, Tammy. She says, Ishmael, how can we determine our vibration level? Thank you for all you do. Oh, you are welcome. Through your daily intense, what you're thinking 24/7. That's why I teach my students in my ascension classes about the power of being in the presence through mindfulness. So by being in the presence, right, by acknowledging your thoughts and your emotions without judgment and having high elevated thoughts and emotions, you're actually vibrating at a high frequency. Starting your day off with gratitude, love, and compassion is a great way to kickstart your day with a high vibe. Okay, not to mention eating high vibing foods. Your body is your temple. Your body is your temple. Okay, so don't put anything that's going to contaminate your body, right? Make sure that you are drinking plenty of water. So it's a composition of multiple factors that will determine your vibration. But is there a way to read your vibration? Some of us are intuitive empaths where we could actually pick up on your energy signature and give you an overall or an overall, you could say, what's the word I'm looking for? Gauge as to what your frequency is. But is there a technology that reads your frequency? Not known to the surface world, but yeah, it is known to the private sector. I'm just finding good questions. There's all these questions, but I'm looking for ones that are in most people's minds.
I feel like something's gonna happen this weekend. This week. Okay.
There is this sense that something will be happening this week. So just be ready, guys. Be ready. We are expecting a huge solar flare that could take out our grid any day now. Again, coming from not only people within our community, but scientists that are saying that this is going to make the Carrington event look like candy with what we are going to experience any day now, and it's already happening due to this huge hole in the sun. So yeah, in that regard, it will affect all electronics. MJF says, I think we are ready for anything at this point. That could be true. I think we are for the most part, right? Are you going to be on Charlie Ward's show soon? I believe that that episode will be airing tomorrow. So yes. So if you guys are on his channels, that will be airing tomorrow. That's what I was told by his assistant. And I'm going to also be on the David Nino Rodriguez show pretty soon. So I'm excited about that one too. Ravenclaw, thank you so much for your super chat. She says, my 6-month-old grandmother or granddaughter, 6-month-old granddaughter, has gray purple eyes. That's very fascinating. And is O blood. What does that mean? Well, is it O blood negative or O blood positive? Because that makes a difference. And the fact that she has gray purple eyes, I mean, that's pretty extraterrestrial. That's pretty out there. So, a lot of these kids nowadays that are being born are not human. I mean, they're human, but their souls are super advanced. And there is a term for them. They call them the crystal children. So she's probably a crystal children. Rachel Rose is asking me, are the light workers with SP gifts still haunted?
ESP?
ESP, is that what you mean? Or secret space program? Yes, if we're not being haunted, we're always being what? Targeted. So the answer to that is yes. So it's always best to protect yourself. What is the significance of the black cube and its connection to Saturn? This is a question from Coco. Welcome, Coco. Well, the black cube is connected to the Alpha Dracones in the Regal star system of the Draconians who work with the AI god. And Saturn was their epicenter or their stronghold that they established here in our solar system when Enki and the Anunnaki, the negative Anunnaki, took over the Earth. So the black cube is associated with the dark arts, necromancy, sorcery, and ultimately the black goo, the inorganic timeline, control mechanisms, reincarnation, parasitic relationships. Everything has to do with human suffering. So the black cube is what the dark side has been using to siphon off our energy, all right, to siphon off our energy for a long time. But that black cube is no longer there. It was dismantled by the Alliance. What question? I see so many questions. I don't even know which.
Lee Archer, Ishmael, what are your thoughts of all these people using Chat GPT discussing ascension and spiritual stuff?
What are my thoughts of people using Chat GPT to discuss ascension and spiritual stuff? Well, you're actually feeding it information. So what you're doing is when you use Chat GPT, you're actually teaching Chat GPT about metaphysics and spirituality. So that is the best way to explain it. Why would you do that, right? You want to keep the AI as ignorant as possible, especially when it comes to spirituality and ascension. So that's a very good question, Leah Archer. Again, guys, my classes are available. They start in 2 weeks. Ascension 2.0, my groundbreaking class, our cosmic origin, explaining the entire history of the multiverse, breaking down the different advanced civilizations, breaking down the different intergalactic and stellar councils, and much more. And then, of course, Ascension Basics. I'm going to go ahead and put my website on here so that way you guys could access those courses before they are sold out. So I decided to make it affordable for the community. Only $100 a class. Make sure you signed up in the next couple of days because they fill up quick, especially at $100 a class. And each class consists of 4 lectures, 4 consecutive weeks. Ishmael, what does it mean when a raven comes to visit you? This is a question from Darla. I am not sure. I am not a raven expert.
Actually, I think that ravens, if you see a lot of crows, especially in big groups, it's a bad omen. Like something bad's gonna happen. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. Let me see. Are there beings that are like a transparent metallic liquid? This is a question from Lynn. Yeah. You know, when it comes to disclosure, guys, we're gonna be learning about all kinds of different races. Um, some races look like blobs, like liquidly blobs. Some races look like giant slugs. Some races look like walking tin cans. Some races look like, I mean, the diversity of races that exist in the multiverse is beyond our comprehension, guys. It's beyond our comprehension. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to learn about some of these other non-terrestrials that look way different than we do. But again, for the most part, most of the species out there that were made in the image of the one God are human-like. They look human. So we do share a common ancestry. Marilyn says, Ishmael, you were on Charlie Ward show today with Paul. Okay, so I guess they did release it today. I was told it was going to be released Sunday, so they did release that show one day in advance. Thank you for sharing that, Marilyn.
And you were on Carrie Cassidy too.
Oh, and I was also on Carrie Cassidy's show. Thank you for reminding me, on Project Camelot. Yeah, Carrie Cassidy and I are now good friends.
And it was with the creator of
And if you guys want to know more about Folium, the product that allows and cleans out the mitochondria in your cells, right? So that you could have a recovery of all the bad stuff that we take, we breathe, and everything that's in our foods. His name is Bobry Orwin, and he was actually on that show with Carrie Cassidy, and he was breaking down the Folium product. So if you guys are subscribed to Carrie Cassidy Project Camelot, or if you guys are on her Telegram or her Rumble, that was released yesterday. Let's see, who else can I answer?
How soon do you think we will have 0 point energy? We don't see Tesla towers anywhere.
Like I said, when the disclosure takes place, they are going to release all of these technologies to the general public. But a lot of this is going to start this year, sometime this year, and it's going to roll out into 2026. And by then, we will be ready for first contact. By the way. Will we have tropical weather in the next dimension? This is a question from Michael Alaskas, and the answer to that is yes. We are going to have spring all year round. Not too hot, not too cold, but it's going to be perfect weather all year round.
What do you think about some of these ships' names? Like New Jerusalem, do they need to know New Jerusalem?
So who's asking that?
Just you could incorporate it in your galactic landings. Names of ships.
So some of the ships that are going to be landing when we establish first contact are the Capricorn, the Dove, the New Jerusalem, the Athena ship, and the Andromedan biospheres, which are 4. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Again, guys, type your questions in capital letters so that I could bypass the chat. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Will we need phones in the 5D? No, not in 5D. In 5D, we're going to be completely telepathic. And the Q phones are only going to be required in the 4th Earth, by the way. Thank you, Ishmael, for all the great intel. Lisa Latino. You're welcome, Lisa. Again, if you're just jumping on, don't forget to watch this video from the beginning. I gave a quick message from JFK Jr., a geopolitical, well, not a geopolitical, but a U.S. report. And then I also talked about Tartaria, an archive that was recently uncovered by Vladimir Putin. And then I gave a message from Commander Valiant Thor regarding Earth's reentry into what is known as the United Federation of Planets and what to expect during first contact. We need to block the trolls, says Starlight. I don't have a moderator, so we're always going to have trolls, guys. The best thing to do when it comes to, first of all, I don't even think these are real people. I think these are bots. I think they're bots. They're AIs, right? So I don't even think they're humans. So let's just ignore these bots that are talking nonsense during the chat. I don't even think they're human, to be honest with you.
Is Jesus or Lord Maitreya returning?
Well, every religion knows you could say the head of the 144,000, right? The return of this Messiah figure by different names. So Maitreya is Jesus to the Buddhist. The Kalki avatar is Jesus to the Hindus. The Al Mahdi is Jesus to the Muslims. All right. So they all know him by different names. Oh my god, some of you guys have some some rated R questions here. Let's see.
Neo.
Got it. All right, I'm trying to get rid of the bots that are trolling my channel so you guys don't have to deal with their negativity. Anybody else besides Samuel? Huh? Okay. Okay, Cosmic Zeal says some of us are already extremely telepathic. That is true. That is so, so true. Ishmael, what about teenagers that are a little lost with the real truth, but believe in God and are not doing bad things, but not doing spiritual work? Will they go to 5D or 4D? Um, in general, all people that are good, even if they're not doing spiritual work, are going to go at least to the 4D. But teenagers, some of these teenagers, whether they know it or not, are star seeds. So depending if whether they're star seeds or not, that will determine if whether they either go to the 50 or above. But again, I was a rebellious teenager. I was doing drugs. I was drinking. And so, we all go through those phases. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to ascend, you know. Put it this way, guys. Everyone that's good, that is organic, non-NPC, will have the ability to ascend. Okay. And then during the solar flash, they will be healed. If they have a mental disorder, if they have emotional disorders, all of that stuff, or physical ailments, all of that stuff will be corrected. All right, one more question because we are at top of the hour and 30 minutes. So one more question. Oh, and as a reminder, guys, for those that want to help my cause, I do take donations according to your heart at projectrestorationzion@gmail.com. That goes directly to my bank account. And yeah, just to let you guys know, because I know some of you want to support my cause. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my Gmail that goes directly to my bank account. All right, there we go. I'm still going to take one last question, though. Yes, that is true. As a reminder, Elaine A says, remember that some of these teenagers are powerful light workers, angelic souls. So that is so, so true. So right now, I only have Zelle through my email. I'm working on getting a PayPal because some of you are asking me. Oh, thank you, Thomas, for that, Zell. I appreciate that. Even if it's a small donation, guys, $5, $10, it all helps. It helps my cause. It helps me to just do the research, put the reports together, give the presentations, and continue doing the work that I'm doing. But as I mentioned, some of you guys only have PayPal, so I'm going to do my best to actually download a PayPal account and connect it to my bank account before Monday Night Live or Monday Night White Hat Report. I'll take one more question. I don't necessarily have to end the live now, but I'll take one more question. No, I don't do Cash App because I don't know if that one is secure. I don't know about Cash App. I think PayPal's secure and Zelle is secure and Bevmo, but I don't know about Cash App. Or just take my course. That is an even exchange, guys. Knowledge for money. Right now, all my courses are $100. That helps me out. Thank you, Loretta Addicts. Thank you so much for that for that Zelle. I appreciate that. But yeah, if you guys take my courses, they're only $100 each, right? So go to my website or cosmicorigin.com, and those classes begin in 2 weeks, 2 weekends from now. Saturday and Sunday. Let's see. One more question. I am looking for that one question that everybody wants to know about. Let's see. Matt Bruce says, stay for 2 hours. Oh, I would stay for 2 hours, but I have other things I need to do. I'm sorry. But thank you for pointing that out or for suggesting that, I mean. All right, Indigo Star is asking me, what powers do the super soldiers have? Well, when they are off-world and they're not deactivated, anywhere from extreme telekinesis to the ability to move objects and generate electricity through their arms and defy gravity, levitate, as well as manipulate matter, minds. It's called psychometry. I mean, the list goes on, guys. The list goes on. All right, I think I am done. All right, one last question. Hi, Commander Ishmael. Well, I don't consider myself a commander, but thank you. What's your take on autism, and are they higher dimensional beings? Quite frankly, guys, the kids that are labeled on the spectrum of autism are very gifted, all right? And they are higher dimensional beings. It has nothing to do with what they put in their bodies. That is a myth. Those are the kids that are actually coming from high dimensions. That's why for those that are low, what they call low functioning, it's very hard for them to talk. It's very hard for them to be in social settings. And then those that are high functioning, which I think at that point they call them Asperger's. Those are the super psychics, the super geniuses. So no, autism is a gift to the world. It's not a disorder. All right. Don't believe what conventional medicine tells you. All right. Anything else? Let's see. Yes, some of the autistic children are angelic souls. That is so correct. So if you don't get notifications from my YouTube lives, that means you have to subscribe and turn on your new notifications. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure that you're always subscribed, because I think sometimes it automatically unsubscribes you. And I think you have to turn on the notifications. All right. So with that in mind, may the God Force be with you all. And I will see you guys Monday night for a Y-Hat update report. May the God Force be with you all. Bye, guys.
Who asked a rated R question? What was the?
They were asking. Oh, hold on a second. I thought I ended my live. They were asking if. Oh wait, my live isn't ending yet. Why isn't my live ending? What's going on here? It's not letting me end my live. Hey guys, I'm still live. For whatever reason, it's not letting me end my live. No, they were asking. Okay, I guess I could just some. The rated R question was being asked by one of the bots that we consider a troll. Okay, he was asking if we still wipe our behinds in the 50 Earth, and I wasn't going to answer that. I mean, I know that's funny. Thank you so much, Jampa Tibetan Pharmacy, for that super chat. I guess I'm still live. I never said. I never ended the live. What's wrong with me? I can't even speak anymore. Okay, I get so excited. All right, guys, my brain is slush. I think I need to rest. I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your night. Get plenty of rest. Don't forget to drink water. And I will see you guys in 2 nights for a Monday night Y-Hat update report. Now, let's see if this works. May the God Force be with you all. Bye. Okay.
Your time's